Chrissy with Collision Hub, and we're wrapping up the coverage from Industry Week in Salt Lake City, Utah. We had a great announcement yesterday about a new certification program for the distributors of parts, and it kind of caught my attention. I really wanted to learn a lot more about it. I know it's a topic that everyone in the industry, whether it's shop side or insurer side, very interested in right now. So I've invited a group of people to come by and talk with us about it. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and kind of tell you who they are, their title, and kind of what role they play in the industry.
I'm Jim Smith. I'm a consultant. I serve on the ABPA board, and I was the task force chairman for the development of this distributor certification program.
Hi, I'm Dan Morrissey. I'm vice president at Parts Channel, distributor of automotive aftermarket parts, and I'm the current chairman for ABPA, the Automotive Body Parts Association.
Hello, I'm Bob Frere. I'm the Director of Engineering for NSF International, and I'm also the Director of the Automotive Certification Program at NSF International.
Well, we definitely have the panel of experts to talk about this topic. So yesterday you guys made an announcement of a new certification program for the distributors, which is really unique and different. Tell me a little bit about it and how it came to be.
Well, I think we were in an ABPA meeting, and a lot of discussion was around the fact that the industry was questioning our ability to trace parts and to handle the defective parts and substitution of parts. There was a lot of questions within the industry about our capabilities as distributors to produce a recall and to handle complaints properly. And so the ABPA as a board decided that they needed to do something about that to bring our image up and to bring the industry up to be able to handle those situations.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because some of the things you mentioned are some top concerns on both an insurer and a repairer mind. Can we get the part recalled if we need to? Can we make sure I'm getting the right part and not substituted? So how's the program going to work, certifying the distributor?
Well, we have some basic requirements. First of all, you have to be ISO 9000 certified, and that's a base level of quality system that has to be there, and so that's our first requirement. Then beyond that, we have requirements around business insurance, making sure that we have product liability insurance there to protect against any kind of lawsuits that would be involved. And then we go further into having traceability requirements, which we'll talk more about, recall requirements, complaint handling requirements, warehouse requirements to support that, customer service requirements, and then oversight as well as fill rate requirements that we have for the program.
And I think, Dan, that really kind of ties back into what ABPA does for the industry at large, is that it's a single solution, it seems like, without, because I know there's probably a lot of people listening going, well, I thought I had a certification process, I thought I had a recall process, but it may be tied to a specific program, and what ABPA has managed to do with this is really kind of apply that to the industry at large, right?
Exactly. We felt over the years that we had received feedback from the industry that they were looking for a program that would close the gap between the manufacturers and the body shops. So we developed this certification program, and basically it was designed to recognize the distributors that are focused on quality and doing the right thing, and that are investing in the good for the collision repair industry. So basically the way we would envision this working, or one part of it, is when a distributor sells a part to a body shop that's involved in this program, we would scan the part so that we would capture the lot number and the manufacturer information, and then we would scan the pick ticket or the invoice so that we would capture the customer information, and then we would marry them together and store them in a database. And in the unlikely event that there was a manufacturer recall, we could pull from our database a list of customers that bought that particular part and that particular lot number.
Okay.
And then we also laid out the procedures for how we would contact that customer and initiate the recall procedure.
Okay. Well, it sounds like it's a pretty encompassing program, and I know you're counting on a partner in this to kind of keep an eye on things. Can we talk a little bit about NSF and the role of what NSF is going to play in this certification process?
NSF has been working closely with ABPA as far as we've been on the committee, which has been valuable in terms of not only contributing in terms of how best to organize this protocol so that we can actually do an audit against it, which is extremely important. And at the end of the day, you have to have something that's measurable. If we can't measure it, then we're not going to be able to manage it and evaluate it effectively. NSF, just backing up for a minute, NSF has a 60-plus year history in the area of providing third-party certification of developing standards. As part of that certification expertise, we have an extensive base of auditors. It's a worldwide base of auditors in this particular area program. This is very much based in North American operations, so we have well over 350 auditors based in the U.S. that will provide the support for this particular program. So what we will do, we will take the protocol that's been developed around this distributor certification program. From that, we will develop an audit tool. And in that audit tool, we will train our individual auditors to actually go out to the locations and audit each of the locations to the requirements of the program. As Jim mentioned, first thing we're going to do when a distributor makes an application to the program, we're going to look at their documentation. Are they ISO certified or aren't they? First thing we're going to want to make sure that they are ISO certified, and that's once we've verified that ISO certification in place, then we will proceed to set up an audit to go and audit against the rest of the program requirements.
Okay. And that will be ongoing? So will the audit only take place at the beginning of their application, or will there be periodic checks on the distributor?
No, there will be annual audits that will take place.
Well, let's talk a little bit about complaints, because in our industry, we sometimes have them, occasionally, right? We have a few. And in the past, there's been some criticism, like you spoke about, around the complaint process. It's like, who am I making my complaint to? You know, where does that go? And then, is that complaint actually really kind of followed through on and investigated? So, if I receive the part, how's the complaint process going to work to ensure that accountability?
The way it will work, and first of all, there's been a lot done around this over a period of time. There are a lot of people that, in the collision repair industry that have been involved in supply chain reform committees over the years, and that information has been used to develop this program. When it comes to complaints, what we are looking for is a defective part. Okay. What is a defective part? It is a part that has either a design or a manufacturing process defect. And when a distributor has that problem where a shop has complained that a part is defective, they must have a process in place to evaluate that. That's the number one thing that the program requires. Once they evaluate it, they have to be convinced that there is a problem. But once they are convinced there is a problem, we provide a lifetime warranty for return on the part and replacement of that part, an evaluation of whether there may be some R&I involved, and we've connected the dots with this program. It's one of the few times that now they're required to report that part to the certification body if it is a certified part, and we've also made it a requirement that they have to report it to the manufacturer.
One of the biggest issues I think we face with a parts certification program is the ability to capture complaints and to do a good job of identifying where those defective parts are at, because those complaints typically get funneled back from the body shop to the distributor. And if that ball gets dropped at the distributor level, it's very difficult for a certifying body like NSF, the manufacturer of the products, to find out that they have a potential problem with that part. I can tell you the manufacturers that we've been working with are very concerned about the quality of the parts, and it's just a question if there is complaints, they're going to want to know about it.
Right, and I think it speaks to what Dan said earlier about the desire that ABPA's had to bridge the gap between the shop and the manufacturer directly.
Absolutely.
Manufacturers have been wanting access to the shops, and the shops have really been wanting access to the manufacturers. We just haven't figured out a way to make that happen yet. So,
correct.
I think there's a frustration out there in the collision repair shops that they have identified problems and nothing's become of it.
Right.
And so what I'm hoping is that that this program starts to give them the confidence that there is going to be something done about it, because our industry wants to get those problems identified and wants to get them out of the circulation, because that's what brings our industry up, and that's what ABPA is all about, and NSF certification.
Well, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to watch it grow and see how it goes through, and I'd love to kind of watch that audit process at some point. So hint, hint. Any last minute, any last thoughts or any last things that we want to leave the audience with about the program? Or?
I think the last thing that I would like to leave the audience with is we feel that this program is going to raise the bar for the quality of aftermarket parts and for the level of service that a certified distributor will provide to move the quality of aftermarket parts to where they need to be, so that they'll be a viable option in the future and there'll be less friction in the process.
And I would just like to add to that if your audience, if you see something that is in this program that you feel needs to be better, hey, let us know. That's what we're all about, is raising the level of the industry, and through this program. This is the good thing about a certification program is it doesn't just stop here. It's a continuously evaluated program through our technical committees that we have for different programs, including this distributor program. So if you see something that needs to be improved upon, let us know.
Right. Well, you can't complain if you're not willing to dig in and do the work. So, is the best place for more information the ABPA website?
Probably the best source for information would be through, it is an NSF certified program, so we're going to, I think, consolidate all the information through there.
And we'll have a link on the ABPA website also.
Okay. So you'll be able to find links on either website, and then we'll have some link out through our coverage on the website. So you should be able to get any information you need. Any questions that you have, I know that they'd be happy to answer your questions. If you don't want to ask the question directly, feel free to send them to me and I'll ask them for you, because that's what we're here for. So thank you guys for joining me. I know that we drug you out of CIC. We're going to send you back in there for a minute. I think we have the technical presentations left today.
I'm excited to see that.
We're going to wrap up the rest of the coverage. We've got the golf tournament coming up this afternoon, and we will see you at the end of today in Salt Lake. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.